Coming up today on Good Morning BU. The British are coming. We bring you the latest as the Prince and Princess of Wales visit Beantown.
And it's a new day in Massachusetts politics. Sophia Falbo sets out on campus to get reactions to the incoming, mostly female executive slate.
BU is getting a new deal. Tegan Allen sat down with Senior Vice President of Operations, Derek Howe, to talk strategy over the Boston University master plan.
And the holiday spirit is taking over the seaport. Kiara Smith stopped by the Snowport holiday market to chat with visitors and business owners. Live from Studio West in the College of Communication, Good Morning BU starts right now.
Hello and welcome to Good Morning BU. I'm Addison Cummings.
And I'm Stephannie Joseph. Here are today's top stories. British royalty is returning to Boston. Prince William and Princess Kate arrived in Boston on Wednesday for a 3-day stay in the hub, 46 years after his grandmother, the late Queen Elizabeth, last visited the city. The couple is in Boston to celebrate the second annual Earthshot Prize Awards, which are meant to honor organizations that are leading the fight against climate change. In a reception in front of City Hall, Prince William said that his inspiration for the program came from an icon of Boston politics.
60 years ago, President John F. Kennedy's moonshot speech laid down a challenge to American innovation and ingenuity. Launched the Earthshot Prize with the aim of doing the same for climate change as President Kennedy did for the space race.
French President Emmanuel Macron is in Washington today as part of a week-long stay to visit shore up relations with the U.S. President Joe Biden welcomed him to the White House yesterday in his first state visit of his administration. Biden and Macron are trying to ease transatlantic tensions over a U.S. domestic manufacturing plan, CHIPS Act, which Macron says could harm European markets. This act would incentivize global chip manufacturers to create new or expanding operations in the United States. Biden promised to make adjustments to the clean energy law passed earlier this summer that threatened the American-European Economic Alliance. Biden is also seeking to shore up relations with France, who it sees as a key Western ally aligned against Russia. Biden says Macron's political presence in European is incredibly valuable.
Emmanuel is not just the leader of France, he's one of the leaders of Europe. He's been very outspoken and he has been very commanding in Europe.
Yesterday, the House and Senate passed legislation to forge a rail labor agreement to prevent a national strike. These new railroad contracts provide the workers with a pay increase and an additional 1 day off for personal reasons. Railroad workers still consider this agreement unfair and will not take striking off the table unless the agreement is broadened. The House voted narrowly yesterday to include 7 sick days in the labor agreement, but the measure failed to garner the 60 votes necessary. Democratic West Virginian Senator Joe Manchin voted against the addition, expressing concerns about Congress dictating terms of the negotiation.
Much concerned about us jumping into that when you have 8 unions have agreed to the package that they negotiated with the Department of Labor and with the President. I'm very reluctant on the other for us to jump in.
President Joe Biden dove into this issue several months ago. However, he's reluctant to oppose the contracts by the unions, but state that a national rail shutdown would devastate the U.S. economy and food supply. The railway companies and labor unions have until December 9th to come to an agreement before the workers strike.
A collection of over 150 student clubs are calling on BU President Robert Brown to rename Miles Standish Hall in East Campus. 178 student-run organizations, including BU Student Government, Minority Connection Initiative, and 9 individual student governments, all signed on to an open letter issued Monday urging administration to remove Standish's name from the residence hall. Standish, a military advisor for the Plymouth colony in the 1600s, is featured extensively in Massachusetts Massachusetts iconography, including on the state flag. But students point out he is also responsible for what is known as the massacre at Wessagusset, where he led troops to kill tribe leader Wittawamut in 1622. And Joseph, a BU sophomore who helped write the letter and also helped pen an op-ed published in BU Today on the subject, says the decision should not fall squarely on President Brown's shoulders.
This is a decision that should echo the sentiments and the ideas and the voices and opinions of the students. And the idea that it's just President Brown's decision to rename this building doesn't align with the idea of representation of students at this university, and especially doesn't align with the representation of Indigenous voices.
Adam Shamsi, who co-authored the op-ed with Joseph, agrees and says that the student body has made its desires clear.
We have we have a petition with over 1,600 signatures. We have over 170 club organizations signing on to this. We have Instagram posts all across social media. This op-ed that has been fairly well received. So I would ask, why not?
The Office of Communications did not respond to requests for comment, but in a letter to the community last year, President Brown described Standish as a, quote, capable and flawed individual, and while he acknowledged his role in the massacre, he is, quote, not prepared to remove his name at this time. Coming up next, a new slate of women is coming into power in Massachusetts politics. Sophia Falwell brings us reactions and more.
And later, Tegan Allen sits down with BU's Senior Vice President of Operations to go over the details of the BU Master Plan. All that and more after the break.
They told me a bottle couldn't dream. That I would never become a superhero. But I learned how to fly. Just to come back in a new disguise. And be the hero that I've always wanted to be.
There's a shelter pet who wants to meet you. Meet one today. Visit theshelterpetproject.org. Adopt.
Hey, you.
Yeah, you. Getting that college education. What are you gonna do? Graduate and take some office job? Be like everybody else?
Or will you dare do something different?
Like, be a teacher. You could be my teacher. You got the skills. The smarts.
Yes, you.
You could be the teacher I never forget.
That'd be cool.
Does that corporate job even have recess? What are you gonna make of yourself?
What are you gonna make of me?
Most party fouls are pretty dumb. But if you decide to drink and drive underage, you could lose your license and your freedom. Underage drinking and driving. The ultimate party foul.
Welcome back. The 2022 midterm election ended with historic results for Massachusetts when 5 out of 6 representatives elected to Massachusetts constitutional offices were women. BU TV 10's Sophia Falbo spoke with students to discuss their thoughts and feelings about this outcome.
The message today, kids, is you can be anything that you want to be.
The 2022 midterm elections broke history with 5 out of 6 women elected to Massachusetts constitutional offices. According to WBUR, until this election season, only 9 women have served in constitutional offices in Massachusetts in the last 242 years. These 5 Democratic women in positions include Governor-elect Maura Healey, Lieutenant Governor-elect Kim Driscoll, Andrea Campbell for Attorney General, Diana DeZolio for Auditor, and Deb Goldberg for Treasurer. Alice Scollins, president of BU College Democrats, said she is excited for more female representation in the Democratic Party.
There's definitely been a lack of representation. I mean, obviously with governorship, there's been no woman ever elected to be governor, or no person from the LGBTQ plus community. So that's definitely historic. As well as like in the state house, we've seen like there hasn't been too many women, and a lot of women and women of color got elected as well. So I think that's pretty historic.
Despite representing the opposing party, BU College Republicans President Declan Donahue agrees.
It's great to see like more women getting more involved in politics, or involved in higher levels of authority. But at the end of the day, like Maura Healey, although I didn't vote for her, I don't agree with her on a lot of things, but she's extremely qualified for the job.
Students around BU are excited for these women to represent Massachusetts.
I think it was really exciting that Maura Healey won because she's the first female governor of Massachusetts, and she's also a member of the LGBTQ community, which I think really represents our state very well.
Inspiring that women are being represented in such a male-dominated field. It's showing that changes are happening, and that's super exciting.
I think it's a pretty good step towards maybe just having more women in the field in general. I know like we always do say that we're making progress, but I think like seeing it in action is just a very satisfying feeling.
Now that these 5 women are elected to positions in the Massachusetts government, the public awaits to see the decisions that they make. From Marsh Plaza, I'm Sophia Falbo, BU TV 10.
Thanks for that, Sophia. The Supreme Court will hear arguments regarding President Biden's student loan forgiveness plan. The court announced yesterday that it will hear oral arguments on a Missouri lawsuit claiming Biden's student loan forgiveness plan is unconstitutional. Biden's plan, announced in the summer, aimed to cancel up to $20,000 in federal debt for certain borrowers. That plan is currently on pause after the Circuit Court blocked the Department of Education from administering the program. 26 million people have applied for loan forgiveness so far, and the program is expected to cost nearly $400 billion.
Hakeem Jeffries is elected as the first person of color to lead a party in Congress. History was made Wednesday night when House Democrats chose Jeffries of New York to succeed current Minority Leader Nancy Pelosi. Along with 2 other fresh faces, Jeffries also represents a generational change from the current triumvirate of the House. He was joined by Catherine Clark of Massachusetts and Pete Aguilar of California as they ran democratically unopposed for their positions. Clark and Aguilar claimed the titles of whip and chairman, respectively. In a press conference on Wednesday, Jeffries nodded to Shirley Chisholm as he noted the historic nature of the election.
On the shoulders of people like Shirley Chisholm and so many others, as we work to advance the ball for everyday Americans and get stuff done. Because that's what Democrats do.
The U.S. men's national soccer team is headed through to the next round of the World Cup in Qatar. The Stars and Stripes secured passage after a narrow 1-0 win over Iran. Pennsylvania native Christian Pulisic notched the winner in the 38th minute in a game that secured a second-place finish over Iran and Wales. All eyes are on tomorrow's match against the Netherlands, as an injury to Pulisic could mean he misses out along with midfielder Weston McKennie and striker Josh Sargent. Pulisic took to Twitter Tuesday to ease fans' concerns, though, and said in a press conference yesterday his primary concern was always the team, even as he was on his way to the hospital.
I was able to follow it on the guy, with me on his phone, and it was like the hardest thing. I think they were checking my, my blood sugar and everything, and I was flying through the roof, but it wasn't because of anything. It was just me stressed watching the game.
The Boston City Council is discussing local voting rights for Boston's 16 and 17-year-olds this week, an effort to establish early voting habits and give a voice to Boston's young adults. Boston City Council voted 9-4 in support of the proposal granting only local voting rights to 16 and 17-year-old residents of the city. The proposal would mean that those who register at 16 or 17 would also be pre-registered to vote in state and federal elections once they turn 18. The petition will now be sent to the Massachusetts legislature for approval. If the petition passes, it would then need approval from Mayor Michelle Wu and later state lawmakers. And now we head into break.
You think getting dumped by text is harsh? Try getting dumped by a tennis ball. My ex-owner drove me out to the woods, yelled fetch, and by the time I bought the ball back, he was gone. Yeah, I was pissed. But the folks at the shelter helped me let go of my anger. I learned coping skills, like taking it to the hole. Boom! Now I'm ready to fetch again. But how about I throw and you run and get it?
Did you know kids who play outdoors have healthier lungs?
Totally. Did you know that boys that play with dolls make better husbands?
My son has lots of dolls. But did you know terry cloth diapers breathe better?
I did.
It's totally true.
Oh, yeah.
Did you guys know statistically friendly kids have more friends?
Yeah.
That's obvious.
Did you know most people think they're using the right car seat for their kid, but they're not?
Parents who really know it all know for sure that their child is in the right seat. Visit safercar.gov/the right seat to make sure your child is protected.
The earthquakes you see in movies are one thing, but real life is a completely different animal. Just because you can't predict an earthquake doesn't mean that you can't prepare for one. In the event of a real earthquake, you should drop, cover, and hold on. Visit ready.gov/earthquake and practice what to do to keep you and your family safe in the event of a real earthquake. And you'll be seen as a hero by your family and your loved ones.
Visit ready.gov/earthquake today.
How can I help my daughter with her reading?
Searching for help with Dachshund Reading.
No.
Let me try. Sarah's bright, but when she's reading, she has trouble sounding out words.
Playing world music.
What?
I give up.
Wait, I was trying to show you how Sarah feels every day. Frustrating, isn't it? Redirecting to understood.org.
Join parents and experts at understood.org, a free online resource about learning and attention issues to help your child thrive.
Welcome back. Boston University is in the process of finalizing its institutional master plan, which it must submit every 10 years to the Boston City Council. The plan outlines 7 key projects the university plans to develop, and its projected cost would be $1 billion. Tegan Allen sat down with BU Vice President of Operations, Derek Howe, to discuss the impact this plan might have on the student population.
I'm joined now by BU's Senior Vice President of Operations, Derek Howe, who headed up this massive project. Hi, Derek. Thank you so much for being here.
Thanks for having me.
So let's start off broadly. What is an institutional master plan?
It's a review. It's required by hospitals, colleges, and universities with more than 150,000 square feet of property. I think, as you know, we were the first institution in the city to file the IMP. And our current IMP runs through February 2023.
What project or projects do you think will make the most impact on the student body?
Well, definitely the first one is Warren Towers. I mean, we're looking to do a full-scale renovation of Warren Towers. It's the largest dormitory on campus. The renovation is going to add air conditioning, which is badly needed for that building, as well as modernize many of the rooms and bathrooms. But I think the second one is also Mugar Memorial Library. In a similar vein, it was conducted in the mid-1960s, and we are looking to perform a total building complete rehab of that facility, as well as a lot of the programming as well.
How will the impact being made make this costly and time-consuming endeavor worthwhile?
These projects were selected after careful consideration and collaboration with both internal and external stakeholders. I think they really represent investments in in academics, research, housing, overall student spaces. All the while improving our sustainability, in green space on campus, trying to make things or increase inclusivity, as well as overall connectivity on campus. Those are all very good investments for the university to have.
Thanks so much for talking with us today, Derek.
Great, no problem, Tegan. It was really my
Thank you, Tegan, and thanks again to Derek Howe, Senior VP for Operations at Boston University. Coming up next, Chloe Adams gives us the latest in arts and entertainment news from all around Boston.
They said I have troll teeth.
That my voice sounded like a possessed baby doll.
That no one would ever love someone as stupid as me.
That I was fat, ugly.
Disgusting.
The effect of bullying is potent. We will no longer be the silent majority.
Now, when you see online bullying, there's something you can do about it.
We're gonna take action with the I.
I am a witness. I am a witness. I am a witness.
I am a witness.
I am a witness, and so are you.
Checking your fantasy league?
Nah, just my 401k statement.
Nice. Where'd you find the money for that?
I just been saving a little every month.
I can't seem to save anything.
Well, what about all this? What about the money you're spending?
What money? It's gone before I can get my hands on it.
I got a pizza for a Todd.
Hey, can somebody spot me?
When it comes to financial stability, don't get left behind.
It's 547.
Get tools and tips for saving at feedthepig.org.
Hey, Gabby, how you doing? How's the play date and sleepover?
Dad, it was great.
Awesome. Okay, I'm on my way.
Hey, guys, what are you doing?
We're going swimming. We're going biking. Yeah!
I'll see you in a little bit, guys. I love you.
Hi, babe. How was school today?
Hi, Dad. It was great.
Okay, honey. I'll be home soon. Remember, you're never too far away from your kids to be a dad. Reach out and take a second to check in, because sometimes the smallest moments can have the biggest impact on a child's life.
Todd's a great guy. I mean, look at him. What a sweetheart. Attaboy. Wait, Todd, what are you doing? How totally selfish and un-Todd-like of you. Come on, Todd. Come on, man.
Welcome back. So it's officially the holiday season here in Boston, and we're feeling it wherever we go. From the Christmas trees going up all across town to the new festive attractions coming to Boston, there's no better time to explore the hub in all its glory. And to help guide you on your travels, here's our entertainment correspondent Chloe Adams with your Terrier Trend Report.
Thanks, Addison. This city has been full of energy lately, and you could feel it all on display as Boston Common celebrated its 81st annual tree lighting that happened just yesterday. The event featured giveaways and entertainment from singers and groups such as the Sons of Serendip, who is actually a quartet that came together right here at Boston University, and they went on to become America's Got Talent finalists. This is also the 51st year that Nova Scotia donated a tree to Boston to show gratitude for helping after the 1917 Halifax explosion. The event lasted from 6 to 8 p.m. and finally slowed down once the Commonwealth Avenue Mall also lit up in the spirit of the holidays. Speaking of the holidays, can you believe it's already December 2nd? This season, if you're looking for something festive but relaxing to do before heading into finals, why not see a show? The Boston Ballet is holding a performance of The Nutcracker at the Citizens Bank Opera House, with the tickets starting at around $50. Their next performance is tonight at 7:30 p.m., but don't worry if you can't make it because more performances will be going on all throughout the month, with the last one being on December 31st. If there was ever a time to watch this timeless ballet, this would be the season to do it. Finally, if you're looking for something else to do this weekend, you can stop by the holiday market down at the Seaport. It's in its 8th annual year and features vendors from all across the city. Kiara Smith headed downtown to take a look.
Skincare soap, lanterns, and home decor are just a few of the many products that vendors are selling at the Seaport Holiday Market. Sydney Ortega says for the first time at the holiday market, her store, Simply Placed, fills up with people on the weekends.
I opened our brick and mortar about a year and a half ago, and we just wanted to pop up and bring our store to the Seaport.
Olivia Sierra is a first-time shopper.
I love all the options to pick multiple vendors for all my gift giving.
Yashir Danielson of Beautiful Amore Skincare says they come every year and notice more people this year compared to last year.
More traffic, definitely. I've heard people from as far as Canada come to the Seaport Market, which is amazing. A lot more variety in vendors.
Other vendors also say their business is booming this year.
A lot of
Her clientele from New York City sometimes travel here just to get to see her new illustrations. And Snowport has been a big boom this year. It was half the size last year, and now that it's grown to double the size, we're seeing even more customers.
The Boston Holiday Market has over 120 vendors for people to shop with, and over 76% are women-owned. Reporting for BUTV, I'm Kiara Smith.
Thanks so much for that, Kiara. And thanks again to Chloe Adams for this week's Terrier Trend Report. I'm dying to go. Have you started gift shopping for any of your family members or friends?
I haven't. I'm always late with it, but it's going to happen.
I mean, that's a perfect place to go.
Right.
Snowport. Did you see the rainbow earrings?
Oh my gosh, they had my name on them.
Yeah. So everyone should get down there as soon as possible, especially if you need to do some holiday shopping for your friends or family members, as we clearly do. So that'll do it for this semester at Good Morning BU.
We're wrapping up to get ready for final season, but we want to thank you so much for tuning in this semester. You can catch us back here on BUTV 10 in the new year.
On behalf of all of us here at GMBU, we wish you a happy and safe holiday season. I'm Addison Cummings.
And for the final time, I'm Stephannie Joseph. Stay safe and have a good day.